right, thank you for joining me this afternoon. We are here with breaking news. We have a tornado warning for Ozark, Sparta, and Nixa in southwestern Missouri here as a storm is rapidly developing strong rotation here as it approaches the Ozark area. You can see where the greens and the reds meet. That indicates rotation on this thunderstorm here. We see that we got winds going away from the radar and winds going towards the radar here. That is creating a little bit of a circulation type shape there. Outside of that, we are also watching several severe thunderstorms that are currently doing 70-mile-per-hour winds and hail up to golf ball size in Missouri as well. We are also going to be watching areas like Arkansas, Oklahoma, but the main area we are going to be taking a look at is Missouri here, but not only in the Springfield metro because a ton of stuff is going on there right now. In fact, the city of Springfield is under a severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail, and a possible tornado. But then we also have a ton of stuff going on here near the St. Louis metro for more of the same. But the bigger threat with these storms near St. Louis is the golf ball sized hail threat here. We do have several areas that could quickly develop rotation too. By far the most concerning one is going to be here west of Warrenton. This is taking a very classic supercellular shape. Not quite any rotation showing up on the velocities yet, but this could easily do something concerning soon. We do have a tornado watch in effect here that goes all the way from Texas back into Illinois. Let me go ahead and actually pull up the details on that because it is a pretty significant tornado watch actually. So let me go ahead and see what I can find out about that really quickly here. NWS tornado, then we go to the watch. Let me find it real quick. There's been so many warnings today, it's impossible to scroll through this feed to find the watch. And there we go. This tornado watch is for a few tornadoes likely, widespread hail up to apple size likely, and scattered gusts up to 70 miles per hour possible. Alright, this goes all the way from Fort Smith, Arkansas back into Danville, Illinois. There's about 7.5 million people included in this watch here. Alright, so you've really got to look out. There's over 3,000 schools, over 200 hospitals, so there are quite a few areas in this that are very populated that would be very bad to get hit with something like this. Alright, so we have to monitor this storm incredibly closely here, watch its every move. Alright, I believe this is actually our 1000th video on this channel, which is kind of cool. If not, I did it yesterday. I was planning on doing something special for 1,000 videos, but I didn't realize that we just now hit that. I didn't realize we were so close, but it's been a wild ride, man. 1,000 videos, 636 subs. Definitely not the most impressive amount, you know, if you don't know the history of this channel, but I am so thankful and grateful for you guys that this has become a reality for me and that possibly one day this could act as a form of income because this is what I love doing. I love helping people out. I love monitoring the weather very closely, so this kind of stuff was right up my alley. So I want to thank you guys all for supporting it. I know I made the big switch from gaming to weather, and you guys have stuck with me, so I really just want to say thank you. But we need to get back into this coverage here. Let's stop being sappy. We have got some tornadoes trying to drop here. In fact, there's a new tornado warning for that cell that we were mentioning there just to the west of St. Louis. Alright, this is for Warrenton and Wentzville, so if you're in either of those areas in Missouri, we're going to ask you to shelter now because there's a storm that is trying to drop a tornado here at the minute. Again, the reflectivity is showing a very impressive look with this thing here. You know, you got that huge hail on it, and then on the back side you got that hook there that indicates where the tornado could be. Alright, so we're gonna have to watch this cell incredibly closely. I'm much more concerned about this one actually than the other tornado warning cell that we have. Again, we have 2 tornado warnings now. We do not have a confirmed tornado yet, but one could drop at any second. So if you have any questions about your location, leave them down in chat because this is a very widespread event here. We have an enhanced risk from Texas all the way into Missouri. So really anywhere is going to be under the threat for severe weather today in the Midwest and the plains. So yeah. It's worth mentioning as well that the marginal risk goes all the way from Texas back into Pennsylvania, which is insane. That is one of the biggest marginal risks I've ever seen. And anywhere in there, we can see some severe storms pop up today. So we got a new severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be for 1.25-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds for Forsyth, Branson, and Merriam Woods, as well as Gainesville here in Missouri. So let's head back up to our tornado warning cell here in St. Louis. We do have Storm Chaser Brandon Kopic here on this cell, luckily. So if a tornado drops, he will be the first to see it, most likely. Luckily the St. Louis radar is back up now. They were in the middle of a reset for this thing, or not a reset, but they were enhancing it so that it would last longer into the future, and it wasn't supposed to be done until March 18th, and it was out yesterday. But I'm guessing what happened is that the weather got so intense that they had to reactivate it in the middle of the update or whatever. I'm not really too sure what happened because I just got home, but I noticed that the St. Louis radar is working now, which is very good because otherwise we would have no good radars to look at these storms from, really. Alright. Let's check out Springfield again here. Even outside of the tornadic threat, again with these, there's a large damaging wind threat. So, in the city of Springfield even, if you're on like the east side, now might be a good time to shelter. You have 70-mile-an-hour winds approaching your area. If you're in central Springfield, stay in shelter. I mean, it's right on top of you right now. If you're on the west side of Springfield, you're probably good. But expect some more storms coming your way. You're not done. But I'm saying you're done with this little storm here, that little supercell. If there was going to be another storm that gets a tornado warning, I would guess it would be this one here towards Fletcher and Lubbering here in Missouri. It does have some minor rotation on it, and it does have golf ball size hail it's warned for as well, so you don't want to shelter whenever this storm reaches you anyway, because it's very intense in terms of its hail threat. It's going right in between Lubbering and Fletcher. So if you're on the south side of Lubbering, now may be a good time to shelter if you haven't already. Same thing with the north side of Fletcher. The only really thing you need to do to protect yourself from large hail is get away from windows. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning. That is not the one. I do not believe. I don't know where that's at. But yeah, we got a new one somewhere. Most likely in Missouri. So, let's see here. We even have a severe thunderstorm out here in Kentucky. This is a very interesting cell near Vanceburg, Kentucky, because what happened was, back in Indiana, it was so strong, it warranted a few counties to keep their severe thunderstorm watch from earlier, and what happened was, it traveled all the way from southeastern Indiana, all the way to where it is now, maintaining the same level of intensity. It's warranted several tornado warnings. We did have an MCS type event move through Indiana earlier, doing upwards of 70-mile-an-hour winds to the Indianapolis metro. We are getting severe thunderstorm warnings so quickly, I cannot keep up. We got 2 new ones here for parts of western Illinois. It's going to be for Pittsfield, Griggsville, and Bluffs in western Illinois here. So these storms are starting to cross the Missouri-Illinois border, and another severe thunderstorm warning. I believe that might be this one down here to the northwest of Springfield, Missouri. No, that's not it. I'm not sure where that's at. Oh, it's a continuation for the 70-mile-per-hour wind one. Yeah, they're downgrading it to a 60-mile-per-hour wind tag, it looks like. But keep in mind, there are still tons of areas that could develop rotation with this storm as well, so tornadoes are still in play here. Specifically, right over Ozark, there's not a tornado likely, but there is a pocket of very high winds. So, again, we're asking everybody in Ozark to shelter for a few more minutes. Nixa, you're good. McCracken and Sparta are going to be the next places in line for this supercell here. But the more impressive look, to me at least, is this one here near Warrenton, Missouri. This is in western St. Louis. If this hook becomes a little bit more defined, then that's a near-perfect reflectivity supercell look as it approaches Innsbruck. Alright. Let's see here. Let's take a look down in Oklahoma. We do have a few cells down here. They're not quite as concerning, though. They're kind of just your typical springtime storms down here in Oklahoma. This one in eastern Oklahoma might be a little bit concerning, but it's nothing to, like, shelter from, I wouldn't say. So again, we have 2 tornado warnings at the minute, both in Missouri. 15 severe thunderstorm warnings. One of them being for 70-mile-per-hour winds. Oh, I was wrong. They did continue the 70-mile-per-hour wind tag. I was looking at the wrong warning. They kept 70 miles per hour on the severe thunderstorm warning. I was looking at the one down here. This was the newer one. So Seymour, Fordland, Ava, Smollett, and Squires here in Missouri. You need to be extremely alert here. This is a dangerous storm approaching you. When it reaches your area, we're going to ask you to take shelter because wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour are going to be possible with this, even without a tornado. And that's like a very low EF0 tornado on its own. Those 70-mile-per-hour winds are. So again, very dangerous down there. And then the St. Louis Metro, you got quite a few cells as well. We got a new tornado warning. That is going to be a continuation here for this cell that we're watching. It's taking a more northeasterly track here towards Fordland. So Fordland, we're going to actually ask you to shelter within the next couple of minutes as soon as possible. Again, this is Fordland, Missouri. So we now have 3 tornado warnings. This one's about to expire, though. But, Ozark, you're probably safe now. Maybe just some damaging winds to look out for. Then another new severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to be for Montgomery and Callaway counties here in Missouri. That's for 1 inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds here, so look out for that supercell. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we are watching 2 really big potential tornado producers here in Missouri. One of them is going to be near the St. Louis Metro in Missouri, and the other is going to be near Springfield in Missouri. So 2 of the biggest metros in Missouri are under a high tornado threat at the minute, which is not what you want to see, obviously. We may see an upgrade to the hail reading here on this storm near Pittsfield, Illinois. The radar presentation of the hail core is very smooth, which is never good. And maybe some minor rotation occurring with this, but nothing tornadic at the minute per se. So we'll go back down here to Springfield, Missouri. Yeah, this is becoming a little bit more concerning now as it approaches Linden. Even though there's not a tornado on the ground yet, we have winds over 75 miles an hour just a little bit off the ground. We're only elevated 0.2 degrees, so it's really not that far off the ground. You'll be seeing those 75-mile-per-hour winds. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning. That's for the cell in Kentucky. That's for Lewis County, Kentucky. It warranted another severe thunderstorm warning as it approaches Ruggles and Awe in eastern Kentucky. Some minor rotation possible with that. I think it's starting to get to the point, though, where it's going to die out soon. What you may notice is looking at this is it started off in the yellow area, which is a pretty favorable environment for severe thunderstorms. That's called your slight risk. Then it started to travel into this marginal risk, and it managed to stay strong through that. But I don't know if it's going to do that well with the general thunderstorm risk, because usually there's no severe weather that occurs in this area, but it's still very impressive looking, so we'll see what happens. We'll see. Again, maybe even an isolated tornado threat down the line with that one. There was a pretty big tornado threat earlier, but it never... Actually, it may have ended up producing one in southeast Indiana. There was a report of tornado damage to buildings, but that is not technically confirmed. It was read on the Storm Prediction Center website as a likely tornado, but there's no confirmation yet, technically, but it's almost certain that there was one. So again, a little bit of a scary hook trying to develop here towards the south of Warrenton in Missouri. If you're in Warrenton, you're good. The severe threat is past you for now. I want to emphasize that for now because you are nowhere near done. But down the line here, we're going to see Wentzville and especially Innsbruck. Innsbruck at the minute is by far the most concerning with that cell. We are starting to watch this one near Springfield a little bit closer for that tornadic potential there near Fordland. Man, that's some high winds off of the ground in Linden. So we got a new severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to be for Pike County, Missouri, Pike County, Missouri, Pike County, Illinois, and then Calhoun County in Illinois. That's for 1.5-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour damaging winds. Again, these cells are starting to cross the Missouri-Illinois border. The reflectivity on this storm is more impressive in St. Louis, but in terms of the velocities, the one near Springfield is more impressive. But it doesn't matter. They're both still dangerous situations. Yeah, that pocket of high winds is even more defined now as it's towards the north of Sparta and McCracken in Missouri. Just a little bit off the surface, we're seeing 85-mile-an-hour damaging winds. So you need to take shelter here. Cody, Rogersville, Henderson, Palmetto, and Anchor Hills in Missouri. You're next in line for this. So, new radar scan on this cell in St. Louis, still very impressive. In terms of hail and tornado potential. But the main one we're really watching, though, is this one near Springfield now, as the velocities have increased a significant amount. We take it back 7 frames, we see it really wasn't that impressive, but it quickly popped off. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to be for Washington and Crawford counties in Missouri. That's for 50-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail. You're already under the tornado warning, though, so it doesn't really matter. Or, sorry, that might be the wrong location. Yeah, sorry, that is the wrong location. You're not under a tornado warning here. You're just under a weak severe thunderstorm warning. I want to put an emphasis on the weak part. It just barely warranted that severe warning. And it's a radar-indicated hail threat anyway, so this may just be more of a strong storm than a severe storm. Still something to watch out for, though. Get indoors. So, again, Fordland, you're next in line for this thing. You're the next big city in line. Fordland's got quite a lot of locations here. At least I assumed it did. I'm not seeing any of the buildings pop up in Fordland. Whatever. I just assumed it was because it looks so big. From where we were looking at. Zoomed out, you can still see it. So nothing on the correlation coefficient yet that indicates a confirmed tornado. We're emphasizing, though, everyone from Squires and Smollett back into Marshfield needs to seek shelter when this storm approaches because it is doing 70-mile-an-hour damaging winds estimated by radar. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be down here in Oklahoma, I believe. Yep. It's got a decently impressive look here near Asher, Oklahoma, actually. Maybe a few other cells firing up here close to severe limits as well, like this one near Seminole. Got another new severe thunderstorm warning. We're up to 20 severe warnings, guys. That is ridiculous. That's going to be for Lewis and Greenup counties in Kentucky. That is a continuation of this cell that just does not want to die, man. So now, Hopewell, Grayson, you're under the gun for this severe thunderstorm here. It's still doing large hail in rotation. That is really impressive how it's surviving through even the unfavorable areas for tornadic potential. Yeah, nothing immediately tornadic with that, but later down the road, nothing is ruled out. I'll say that much. New radar scan still showing that pocket of high winds. Again, off the surface, just a little bit off the surface, maybe over 80 miles an hour at the minute. So this is a very dangerous pocket of high winds here. This storm is becoming a little bit less impressive here near Wentzville in Missouri. Stay in shelter though. It never really was that impressive in terms of the velocities though. So, I don't know. Got another new severe thunderstorm warning. They just don't stop. That's going to be for Jefferson County, Missouri, Monroe County, Illinois, and St. Louis County, Missouri. That's going to be for golf ball size hail and 50 mile per hour damaging winds. So Festus and Arnold, whenever this storm reaches you guys, we're going to ask you to take shelter for this large hail threat. It's looking like it may be tracking a little bit closer to Festus than Arnold. So maybe Arnold actually is good, but get away from windows, Festus, when this hits you. This also has the tornado possible tag. It's going to be in effect for over an hour. It's some broad rotation, I'll say, north of DeSoto. We were watching a storm near DeSoto yesterday in Missouri, too. That's crazy. I mean, not really that crazy, because 2 days in a row, similar areas are being impacted here. We do have a 10% hatch risk for tornadoes today. So if you're in this, let me turn it on real quick. If you're in the yellow area, or they actually dropped the hatch risk. It is down to a 10% risk. Oh my gosh, dude! If you look at the Storm Prediction Center website, everything is a mesoscale at the minute. Watch possible, watch likely. They're even talking about as far south as Mississippi, some strong storms popping up. Mississippi. We're talking about Ohio, Mississippi, and Kansas, all in the same stream. Well, not really Kansas, but it's such a widespread event, it is. But yeah, it looks like they did actually drop the hatched risk for tornadoes. But if you're in the yellow area today, you still have a 10% chance to see a tornado in your town. That's going to be from Paris, Texas, back into West Plains, Missouri here. So let's switch it back over here to the Storm Prediction Center outlook. Just the regular old day one categorical outlook. Waiting for this next velocity update here. We don't have strong enough winds going towards the radar to drop a tornado yet. But this pocket of high winds here between Sparta and Fordland in Missouri is really quite scary, honestly. Still doing over 80 miles per hour in several spots, over 85 in some spots even. And that is elevated again, so surface winds aren't going to be at 85 miles an hour. But, I mean, this severe thunderstorm warning is for 70. We may even see an upgrade to that to 80. Apparently it has a history of downing trees in Christian County, Missouri. And downing trees usually takes about 60 mile an hour. So at the bare minimum, there's 60 mile per hour winds with this. But it's likely closer to 70 to 80, maybe even 85 mile an hour in some spot winds there. I'm really not too worried about this cell here in terms of a tornadic potential near St. Louis. It's more so a hail threat. You just get away from windows, I would say. But the tornadic potential on this is quite low, I'd say, honestly. This is a very impressive storm here in northeast Missouri, western Illinois. Or is that just northeast Missouri? No, it's also western Illinois. Got quite large hail on it. Same thing with this one here near Jacksonville in Illinois. So, back over here closer to Fordland, still that pocket of very high winds. That in there is what we're worried about as it approaches Fordland and Diggins in Missouri. And really the tornadic threat with this cell is quite low as well, but the damaging winds, they're going to act as a low-end tornado, I would say, between Sparta and Fordland. So, with that being said, at the minute, there's nothing that really looks that scary tornadic-wise. But that doesn't mean we don't have some impressive storms out there. That's what I'm going to say. In terms of an actual tornado dropping, I'd say the biggest threat here is near Hillsboro, but this is very broad rotation still. I say that, and then they issue a tornado warning. So, apparently it's not broad rotation. Festus, Hillsboro, and Pevely, and Kimswick here in Missouri. We're asking you to shelter when this storm approaches you. It is doing some somewhat significant rotation here near Hillsboro, and then also some large hail. So, that'll be pretty scary. Again, that's the biggest one in terms of a tornado threat, but this one down here near Springfield, the damaging winds are going to be devastating with this, honestly. Let's go back to Kentucky. We haven't checked up on that cell in a while. Looks like the velocities may be weakening a bit, like I was talking about, as it enters this general thunderstorm risk, but still, that hail core is very impressive, considering how long that cell has lived. Very minor cell here near Frenchburg, Kentucky. Really weakening out, too. It's nothing to be concerned about. I'd say within 20 minutes, that'll be down to some showers. So we now have 3 tornado warnings. Yeah, much less concerning tornadic-wise here on this cell near Wentzville. Even Brandon Kopic's moving away from it, it looks like. So I imagine this tornado warning will be removed shortly. Man, those are strong winds. Just to the northeast of Zenar, a little bit off the ground, winds of 95 to 100 miles per hour without a tornado even. Surface winds are at least 80 with that, I'd say. We got 2 new severe thunderstorm warnings, by the way. One of them is going to be for Morgan and Sangamon counties in Illinois. That's for 1.75 inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds. Get away from windows when that storm approaches you. Very close to Springfield, Illinois there. And I'm not sure where our other one is. Looks like it could be for Polk County here in Missouri. No, that's not it. I'm not sure what it is then. Probably somewhere in Missouri, though. It's not a significant one, or else I'd be able to recognize it here. Oh, you know what? I was wrong. It is a significant one. Oh, no, this is just an upgrade. This is not a new severe thunderstorm warning, but I would like to point out, this one has been upgraded to 2-inch hail and 70 mile per hour winds as it approaches Clarksville there in Missouri, crossing the Missouri-Illinois border. So if you're ahead of this storm, we're going to ask you to shelter once it reaches you here, because there are some very concerning, damaging winds and large hail on this. It's not your typical severe thunderstorm, that's for sure. So, yeah, I mean, that's a crazy pocket of high winds if I've ever seen one near Fordland in Missouri. We've seen 4-inch hail come out of this event already yesterday, I believe. That might have been, I think we saw some yesterday, and then we also saw some 2 days ago even. Tomorrow, we are at a slight risk of severe weather. That's going to be for portions of southeast Texas. That's a hatch risk for hail. So if things get significant enough, I might go live, but I'm not guaranteeing anything because I've been going live for the past few days now. I am probably not going to be in the mood to go live tomorrow, but if I need to, I will. That's what I'll say, and it won't be anywhere near as significant. So this is actually breaking news here. 4-inch hail was reported in Benton County, Arkansas. And funnel cloud also reported busted some windows on a car. That is softball size hail there. Most of the large hail is going to be in that Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri tri-state area. That's also where we have the hatch risk for hail. And that tornado risk is the highest. So, yeah. At the minute, though, all of our tornado warnings are just in Missouri. Most of them in eastern Missouri, actually, towards St. Louis. See this new tornado warning cell here near Hillsboro, what it's doing. Yeah, still broad rotation. I feel like they should have just kept the tornado possible tag with the severe thunderstorm warning, but National Weather Service knows best. It is doing significant hail anyway, so you're going to want to seek shelter ahead of this thing. And now, I mean, a new one keeps taking the title for most concerning cell, but it might be this one now near Eola in Missouri, heading into Illinois here. It's not even tornado warning because there's not really a tornado threat on it. And even though we have 3 other tornado warnings, this still might be our most concerning storm near Louisiana and Missouri. It feels weird to say near Louisiana and Missouri, but that's the town name is Louisiana. That is not the new severe thunderstorm warning. Oh my gosh, another one. This is ridiculous. I think that's somewhere north of Jefferson City. Eastern Missouri is just getting slammed. Really, the entire state of Missouri is getting slammed, unless you're in northern Missouri where you're like, man, it's a beautiful, partly cloudy day out here. What's this guy going on and on about severe storms and tornadoes? Another new severe thunderstorm warning that is going to be for 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds here as it approaches the Fletcher area. No other major towns here. There's a lot of small rural communities just outside of the St. Louis suburbs. See the winds on this now. Yeah, still very, very high here. In fact, maybe even higher. They're estimating winds close to 100 miles an hour, just a little bit off the surface. I'm very surprised they've not upgraded the severe thunderstorm warning tag to at least 80 mile an hour winds. There are some gusts that are getting very close to 100 estimated by radar. And again, that is elevated, 0.2 degrees, but still, that is crazy. You need to seek shelter ahead of this thing. So, back on this cell here near Springfield, Illinois. I have to specify that now because we got 2 Springfields that are under the gun. Not too concerning. We're just going to kind of run through all of our supercells here. We'll go back to Kentucky near Huntington, West Virginia, as this storm approaches that region. And, yeah, it's still there, and it's still pretty significant. We'll go down to Oklahoma for a little bit. I'm just kind of trying to cover the areas that we haven't quite been talking about as much. This one is 2-inch hail, 70 mile an hour winds. It looks like it got updated recently for that, and that's because there is confirmed at least golf ball size hail. So you're going to want to seek shelter ahead of this one. It's heading towards Tupelo and Cintrahoma in Oklahoma. I just butchered that pronunciation. I'm very sorry. We got another new severe thunderstorm warning that is going to be for Callaway and Boone counties here in Missouri for the Fulton area. It does have a supercellular shape to it, but nothing tornadic at the minute. Maybe some broad, weak rotation there. Nowhere near as impressive as this one down here near Festus, but even this one is not that bad. We're still asking you to shelter just for safety precautions. But, I mean, it's definitely not the worst cell I've ever seen, I'll say that much. There's your air rotation and high winds. One of our our tornado warnings expired, so now we're just watching these two here near St. Louis. The one for Springfield was discontinued because there's no tornado threat with it, but the damaging wind threat, man, it is crazy. Wind gusts now over 110 miles per hour estimated by radar, just a little bit off the ground. You have got to be in shelter here. This is really going to be like a tornado at this point. They just issued a new tornado warning. It's a continuation on this cell here north of St. Louis, near St. Charles. Very surprised they continued that warning. But St. Louis, the actual metro, you're right in between the two tornado warning cells, so you've really got to be on high alert. But at the minute, far more concerning here near Springfield. I don't know if I've ever seen something like this on velocities unless it's been from a tornado. 111 mile per hour winds. They really need to update this warning here to read something higher than 70. It's at the point where it's like capable of doing real damage to structures other than trees and power lines and stuff. Like, we could be looking at some significant home damage even in some spots. Very concerning for Fordland and Seymour. Man, this is crazy. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we have got 20 severe warnings, 3 tornado warnings. Most of them in Missouri, but we got some in Illinois, some in Kentucky, some in Oklahoma, even a few in Arkansas. Just kind of do a quick run through of all of our cells again. Maybe a little bit of a pickup in rotation here on this cell near Festus and Peevely. I believe it's pronounced Peevely. I don't think it's Pevely. We really need to go back down here to Springfield, Missouri. Again, this is breaking. 100 plus mile per hour winds here near Fordland, Deagans, and Seymour, Missouri. Oh my gosh, they're becoming more widespread. Some of these gusts even being estimated 0.2 degrees off the ground of 120 plus mile per hour. That is not radar contamination. Those are real 120 mile an hour wind gusts. I believe they just updated this warning. I mean, I hope they didn't, though, because they definitely should have updated the 70 mile per hour wind tag. There's now another area down to the south, just in between Tigris and Seymour, of 100 mile per hour plus winds. So that area, you're not done once this storm passes you. Once this part of it passes you, I should say. Again, incredibly intense winds here. This is really just insane. They really need to update this severe thunderstorm warning again. The winds are so much higher than 70 miles per hour, even on the surface at this point. No doubt about it. No doubt at all. That is insane, dude. We we are watching this storm near Festus pretty closely as well now, as the rotation is picking up just a little bit here. Maybe a slight pickup in the winds. Still not that majorly concerning, but just take shelter as a precaution. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning that is going to be for Washington, Clinton, and St. Clair counties, Illinois. We got another new severe thunderstorm warning that is going to be, I don't know, whenever they don't pop up at the bottom of the list, I don't know where they're for. But yeah, these storms near St. Louis are starting to cross the Missouri-Illinois border. Again, slight pickup in winds here in the southern tornado warning. The southernmost tornado warning, I should say. This one really needs to be let go. There's no tornado threat for Wentzville at the minute. It's not even raining there anymore, most likely. This is a very impressive hail core, though. Again, we're at 3 tornado warnings. One will probably be dropped very soon as we speak. By far the most concerning storm now in southwest Missouri. Look at the SPC, see if we have any storm reports from this specific swath of very high winds yet. Does not look like it. Nothing that significant yet. But that's because it is just now crossing through, so hopefully everybody's in shelter. They're not out reporting on this thing. We've had 166 hail reports today. 20 of which being very significant. Oh, shoot, I'm looking at yesterday. No, I was looking at yesterday. Okay, still, nothing reported from this little swath of high winds yet. Still, over 100 miles an hour in some spots, just a little bit off the ground. Very intense supercell down there. That might be the headline of this stream here. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to be for, I don't know, because it didn't pop up at the bottom of the screen. Miami and Cass counties, Indiana. We also just got another one for Troy, Missouri. That's 1.5 inch hail, 60 mile an hour winds. We got another one. Calm down. Why so many? All right, Morgan and Sangamon counties, Illinois. Sangamon. This is now for 2.5 inch hail, 70 mile an hour winds. Tennis ball sized hail. Right over Jacksonville, heading for Springfield, Illinois. You need to seek shelter if you're ahead of this thing. This is a very intense supercell. Currently moving to the east at 50 miles per hour, so it's also pretty quick moving. So if you're in Auburn at the minute, you're thinking, oh, it's not even raining out. What's this guy talking about? But within the next 10 to 15 minutes, you could be seeing tennis ball size hail falling in your yard and 70 mile an hour wind gusts accompanying that. This is really just insane. There's too many storms to watch all at once. Still, definitely the most concerning one is east of Springfield, Missouri. You know, I have to specify Missouri because we got 2 Springfields that are under high alert now. Luckily, with the 2.5 inch hail tag, that does warrant the emergency alert system to be activated. So hopefully the TVs are going off saying, hey, big storm coming in. You gotta watch out. It was just an update to the storm, though, so I don't know if they still do broadcast interruptions for that. Hopefully they do, though. Probably a lot of local weather channels covering this, too. Man, this is really ridiculous. new severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to be for Greene, Calhoun, Jersey counties, Illinois, and then Lincoln and Pike County in Missouri. We do have a new tornado watch. We got another new severe thunderstorm warning. Up to 24 severe thunderstorm warnings at one time. That's going to be for Greene, Calhoun, Jersey, Lincoln, and Pike. That's basically the same area on the Missouri-Illinois border. But we have this tornado watch extension now into Indiana. Another tornado warning! Let me cover something for a second, please. This is for Monroe County, Illinois. This is just an extension here for this southern cell near Festus. We got a tornado watch extended. If it will let me say it, the full sentence. We got a tornado watch extended into Indiana and Ohio now. All the way out to Mansfield, Ohio. Starting at Terre Haute, Indiana. It reads, a few tornadoes likely, scattered hail up to tennis ball size possible, scattered gusts up to 70 miles per hour possible. Another new severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be for Wright, Texas, Douglas, Howell, and Webster counties in Missouri. 1.25 inch hail, 70 mile an hour winds here. That's for our storm that's doing the really high winds, so it's a little surprising they're keeping the 70 mile per hour tag. Granted, these 100 mile an hour gusts are elevated readings, but surface winds are probably a little bit higher than 70 miles per hour. So there's an update here. The source is law enforcement. These storms have a history of not only producing widespread wind damage, but it is removing roofs off of homes and downing trees. So if you weren't convinced that you need to take shelter, it is worth it. I promise. Maybe a little bit of a pickup in winds here near Waverly, Illinois. Near Springfield, Illinois here. Four tornado warnings at one time now. And 25 severe thunderstorm warnings. Ridiculous. 9 special weather statements. Again, nothing immediately tornadic for this cell near Festus, I wouldn't say. The winds going towards the radar are not quite strong enough to produce a tornado yet. Sorry, I've been quiet. Hail core pickup near Murrayville. Again, this is for tennis ball size hail, so you're going to want to seek shelter. No new warnings for the past few minutes, which is good, because for a second there, we could not get a break. Much going on in Arkansas at the minute. If you're in the northwest corner of the state, maybe. The severe threat for the Little Rock area is going to pick up later tonight, though. 8 or 9 p.m. That's when the tornado threat will pick up. At the minute, we're not even at the peak tornado threat. The peak tornado threat will be in the Little Rock area at around 8 or 9. Got another new severe thunderstorm warning. That is for Madison and St. Clair counties, Illinois. That is for the Collinsville. Now St. Louis is officially under severe thunderstorm warning. Let's actually see here. Let's take a look at one of these cyclone ports. The dew points are in the 60s here in Advance, Missouri. Man, that cluster of severe thunderstorm warnings all the way from Oklahoma back into Illinois. That is a big area there with widespread severe thunderstorm warnings. Speaking of which, we got another new severe thunderstorm warning. We're up to 26 That's for Ozark, Howell, and Taney counties in Missouri here. It's going to be for 1.25 inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Much larger wind threat than hail, I would say, though. Another new severe thunderstorm warning. I believe that's down here in the Oklahoma-Arkansas border, if I am correct. Near Fort Smith for 1.5 inch hail, or 1.25 inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. It was at 1.5 inch hail, so maybe downgrading a little bit. Still a pocket of very high winds, not quite as high now, but still very high in southwest Missouri here, close to 100 miles an hour, just a little bit off the surface. Again, we're at 4 tornado warnings. I'm very confused why they're keeping this tornado warning for Wentzville. There is no reason for this to be up. Wentzville and Lake St. Louis, you're good. There's not even any rain showers in that area. It's the St. Charles area that this storm is heading for. The North St. Charles area, I should say. Let's go back here to Springfield, Illinois. Again, pretty intense hail core there near Franklin. In between Murrayville and Franklin. Is it Murrayville or Murrayville? Feels more natural to say Murrayville. Let's take a look at the velocities on this southern supercell. It's been a minute. Maybe getting a little bit tighter, actually. So again, we're calling for everybody to shelter here. This is your little area of rotation. Not even really a little area anymore. It's pretty significant. Festus, this is past you. Festus, you are good. Maybe some more strong to severe storms approaching, though, so be on lookout. Got another new severe thunderstorm warning. We're up to 28, ridiculously. That is for Cole, Atoka, and Hughes County in Oklahoma, I do believe. Yeah, it's an extension here to the north of Colgate for this supercell. Has a pretty impressive look to it. Maybe some broad rotation. But 1.75 inch hail, 70-mile-an-hour damaging winds. Seek shelter when this approaches you, because those are some significant winds and hail. Both threats are in play. That is actually a downgraded hail threat, but it's still golf ball sized. It went from 2 inch to golf ball size, so it's still very significant, obviously. So let's go back down to southwest Missouri here on this weakening wind bag. I mean, I say weakening, but it's still very intense and very concerning. Again, some spots estimated by radar over 100-mile-an-hour winds, just a little bit off the surface. Owen plays 3, 4, 5, 6. You're in a tornado warning. Which one are you in? For some reason it looks like the stream crashed. Alright, I'm not sure if the stream crashed or not, but Owen plays there. If you're still tuned in here, which warning are you in? I'm curious. The storm near Springfield, the winds are down to 60 miles per hour, but the hail is still 2 inches, but that's also been downgraded from 2.5. So, get away from windows when this approaches you, but other than that, you're good. St. Louis, there are a couple of warnings here near St. Louis. Speaking of St. Louis, 3-inch hail on this one, north of St. Charles. That is ridiculous. That is now destructive hail. Which St. Louis cell? The St. Charles one or the Waterloo area? Just curious. Again, you don't have to tell me if you don't want you to, but it's hailing right now. Yeah, probably hailing pretty bad. Hope you're staying safe out there. Um, Unfortunately, it looks like the stream might have gotten like botted. It's been a real problem recently dealing with bots. So if I ever don't read somebody's chat message, it's just me preventing botting. I don't know how to stop it. It's really frustrating. Another new severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to be, I don't know because it's not popping up at the bottom. Oklahoma, Arkansas. Maybe? No. That's not the new one. I don't know. Sorry. Oh, wow. I didn't realize how nasty that rotation is now looking near Maystown and Waterloo on this supercell. You just got a severe thunderstorm warning alert. It might be for your area here. So we're down to 2 tornado warnings. This one is for 3-inch hail, which is very concerning near St. Charles. Again, these storms are heading into Illinois now. Got this pretty significant one near Springfield, Illinois. Maybe some minor rotation threat, but overall I think that's mostly just radar contamination. What ELF is it on a scale? I mean EF? There's no confirmed tornado yet. And we can't pre-rate tornadoes anyway accurately. It's a good question, but I'm not a fan of pre-rating. And there's not even a tornado yet, so. Oh, wow. I say that, and you know, this rotation is really picking up near Maystown. We may see a tornado drop soon. Yeah, this is increasingly concerning here. Again, we're asking everybody to be in their safe spots. What EF was it earlier? I don't know. I don't think it's released yet. Depends on which one you're talking about, because there was an Indiana one earlier, and then there were a few yesterday in the Kansas area that I went live for. You were outside and tornado sirens came on. That might have just been for the warning. Sometimes they activate those storm sirens not because there's a confirmed tornado, but even if there's just strong winds. Okay, there's a tornado on the ground now. Sorry for breaking in the middle of the sentence there, but this is a confirmed tornado now, or at least it was. So confirmed tornado in Maystown, Missouri, or is that in Illinois? It looks to be in Illinois. Again, I don't know why it's popping up as radar indicated, because it definitely just said observed. I saw it there. Yep, there we go. Oh my gosh, this is PDS. Alright, everybody, this is a particularly dangerous situation, tornado near Maystown in Illinois. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground, everybody. Is that, I saw this earlier, and I was wondering if that was debris. I don't know if that's a debris ball on the correlation coefficient or not, but it is very concerning, whatever it is. We got another new tornado warning, by the way. That's going to be a oh, no, that's not a continue. That's up for Grant and Wabash counties in Indiana, rather. Concerning rotation with that one too, so seek shelter there if you're to the north of Marion. But this is much more concerning. This is a PDS tornado on the ground now near Maystown and Waterloo in Illinois. Again, this is a big tornado on the ground now. Hey, we went from nothing to a PDS within literal seconds. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and retitle this stream here. I'm going to go ahead and retitle it to Live Large Tornado. There we go. Alright, yeah, this is very bad. We need to get an update here on the radar site. Again, this is a PDS tornado now in, Illinois. This is for Monroe County. We're asking everybody in this to take shelter immediately. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Impact, you are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. Considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles is likely, and complete destruction is possible. We just got a new tornado warning. That is for the cell up near Springfield now. So Auburn and Waverly here in Illinois, we're asking you to shelter. There are 4 different storms that are producing tornadic rotation at the minute. One with a confirmed large tornado on the ground here. Once again, this is a particularly dangerous situation. Please take cover now. Yeah, this is definitely debris now on the correlation coefficient. Very surprised I went with PDS for this, but obviously, National Weather Service knows better than I do. And, again, we got that tornado warning now for the Springfield area, just to the south of Springfield. The reflectivity look is not looking good. And then also, we got that one all the way up there in northeast Indiana that potentially looks even worse. Another one. 5 tornado warnings. That is going to be for Jefferson County in Missouri. There's a new area of rotation to the west of this tornado on the ground. So there are now 5 tornadic areas of rotation. This is ridiculous. This is a large, severe weather outbreak. And they upgraded that storm I was talking about earlier here to 80-mile-an-hour winds. I was talking about they should have done this a long time ago, but still, winds around 100 miles an hour, just a little bit off the surface here for Kabul, Norwood, Vanzin, and Willow Springs. We're asking you to take shelter now. 80-mile-per-hour winds. We see these are destructive storms for Mountain Grove and Kabul. Law enforcement, these storms have a history of producing widespread wind damage, including removing roofs and downing trees. Impact, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged. Expect considerable damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles. Extensive tree damage and power outages are likely here in this area. This is a very bad situation. We got another new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be down there in Mississippi that we were talking about earlier. But yeah, that's very bad as well now that we got 80-mile-an-hour winds there. But perhaps the more concerning thing is this tornado on the ground here. Yeah, this is very bad, everybody. So we haven't looked at this cell in a while here, just the north of St. Charles. Nothing major at the minute. But down by Waterloo right now, this is bad. And this is a PDS tornado here. This is really bad. Let's take another look here at northern Indiana at this supercell. Again, a tornado could drop within the next few minutes with this one. So Jalapa and Marion in Indiana, we're asking you to shelter. So this is still a PDS tornado here in Illinois. I just realized the stream says this is in Missouri. Technically, this is in Illinois now. New severe thunderstorm warning. Not sure where it's for. We need to update that stream title to Illinois. Waiting for this next velocity update here. If you're just now tuning in, there is a tornado on the ground here in southwestern Illinois on the Illinois-Missouri border. This is a very dangerous situation here, a particularly dangerous situation as recognized by the National Weather Service. Take cover now. There's no time, there's no reason to wait. You've got to be in shelter here. Wartburg, Waterloo, Lemons, Burkesville, Tipton, and in fact, a weakening of rotation now. This was never really that impressive to me. The PDS was very concerning, and I was surprised they issued it. Still a little bit of debris, but it honestly looks like this lifted, but stay in shelter. As I said earlier, I was kind of surprised they went with the PDS tag, because, I mean, it was a relatively intense tornado at some spots, but it never got to that big. Sorry, I've been silent for a little bit. Taking a look at all of our cells here. Let's go back to northern Indiana. Yeah, pretty concerning look on the rotation there, so take cover if you're in that area. Same thing with this one here near Auburn in Illinois. Heading for Auburn. And again, we're thinking this tornado is lifted here in Illinois. Hopefully. Stay in shelter, though, for safety reasons. And very surprised they put the PDS tag on that. Still have 5 tornado warnings. That is ridiculous, dude. 5 different areas of rotation, too. It's not like they're all for the same area of rotation. So, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty interesting look there still, so you're going to want to stay in shelter. There's your ones going away from the radar, ones going towards the radar, or flip-flop what I just said. But, yeah, you get the point. Again, we're thinking this is lifted. If it hasn't lifted, it's very weak. And they just downgraded it to radar indicated. It is no longer PDS. And we're actually looking here, or I'm looking, I should say. This storm here doesn't look that impressive on the velocities, but if you look, it matches up with a CC drop. I do not think this is a tornado, though. I think actually that's just me being tricked because, well, hopefully that's me being tricked. I don't know. There could be a tornado on the ground here near Platte in Missouri. Let's go back here to western Missouri. We haven't looked at that for a while, but it's potentially our most concerning storm again. Again, this is a life-threatening situation. The winds are weakening now. But, I mean, for a while there, they were incredibly strong. Just watch that area just explode. Like around Ozark is when it really started to get bad, and then it just popped off, and now it's in its weakening phase. But seriously, dude, that's insane. Another new severe thunderstorm warning that is going to be for Madison, Macoupin, Illinois, and then St. Charles County in Missouri. That's just the south of Carlinville in Illinois. That's for 1.75 inch hail and 50-mile-per-hour winds. The storm's still quite far behind this, so you got a little bit of time. But when that approaches, get away from windows because there's some big hail with that. We got two more severe thunderstorm warnings. Arkansas, I think, is one of the new ones. Maybe Indiana's one of the new ones. Or no, it's this one on the Indiana-Ohio border here for 1 inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. It has been a minute since we've taken a look here at Indiana. Maybe we need to do that, actually. Yeah, very concerning rotation. You need to seek shelter. They're likely going to continue that warning soon as it is leaving the warning box area. The rotation is. And this is still radar indicated. We have a new tornado warning. That one also got updated, but we have a new tornado warning. It's for Macoupin and Montgomery counties. It's for that cell that is near Springfield. You can see it's starting to get a much more defined hook here. We're to the south of Springfield, Illinois. Yeah, very concerning velocities near Verdon. So we're asking everybody to take shelter ahead of this thing. We have 6 tornado warnings at once, which is crazy. Let's go back to our area here in Missouri with 80-mile-an-hour winds. Again, weakening. We haven't gotten a new radar scan for a while, though. Still very intense. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we have 6 tornado warnings in the Midwest at the minute. It's got some in Missouri, some in Illinois, some in Indiana even. But the main one we're watching, or the main ones I should say, are these two. This one's had a history of producing a tornado, and then this one could soon. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to be for Baxter, Marion, Searcy, and Newton counties in Arkansas. 1 inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, tornado possible tag, but unfortunately it's in a very bad radar hole, so we can't really get a good look at this storm here. But it looks like it could be pretty significant, so look out for that. Get indoors, for sure. So, back out here towards Marion, still a pretty tight area of rotation in Indiana. Kind of a classic velocities look here. Still pretty intense. Again, we're going to get a new warning issued for that soon. So we may even be up to 7 tornado warnings for a very brief period of time. New tornado warning, like I was saying. That's going to be for Indiana, I do believe. We also got a new severe thunderstorm warning. We have 7 tornado warnings at once. And yeah, that's a continuation here of this cell that's still doing significant rotation near Marion. And that new severe thunderstorm warning that I mentioned is going to be, I don't know, because it's not putting it at the bottom like I want it to. So we'll go back down here to Mississippi. Or not back down, this is our first time down here. Another severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be... I'm not sure where for, honestly, because they're not popping up at the bottom of the list like I want them to. I actually believe we just got a new tornado watch issued. I'm not sure, though. 7 tornado warnings, 24 severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's see. Never mind. I'm just going crazy. There's not a new tornado watch. Oh, yeah, there is. There is, actually. That's going to be for parts of Arkansas and Texas. That's for a few tornadoes possible, scattered hail up to tennis ball size likely, and scattered gusts up to 65 miles per hour likely. So that's very dangerous down there again. So let's take a look here at St. Louis. Yeah, that North St. Louis cell, once this tornado warning expires, the last thing that we're worried about with this cell is hail, but even that's starting to lower the hail threat on it is, I should say. Again, a couple of concerning cells down here to the south of St. Louis, but we haven't gotten a radar update in a while. And then also northeast Indiana here, we're watching very closely for a moderate tornado warning, I would say. Got that new radar update on the St. Louis radar. Increasingly concerning rotation near Redbud. This cell might start to drop a new tornado soon. We'll probably see a new tornado warning out of this because this warning's about to expire and it is leaving the warning box. This one actually just got upgraded to 2.75-inch hail. So there's now also destructive hail on this thing. Baseball size hail reported in between Redbud and Waterloo. Again, this North St. Louis cell is very much weakening. This one near Edwardsville is picking up quite a bit. I kind of forgot. We haven't looked at Springfield, Illinois for a little bit. Let's see what's up over there. Maybe a little bit less impressive now in terms of the rotation, but that's not saying much because it was very impressive earlier. So, yeah. This severe thunderstorm is still going all the way into West Virginia. We talked about this at the beginning of the stream. This cell has traveled all the way from Indiana into West Virginia. Like, they're not even the same region of the country. And severe weather is not meant to be happening in this area. But that's not stopping this cell here near Huntington. It may be on a little bit of a downward trend, but let's look back 100 frames. Let's see here. Okay, maybe 100 was a little bit too far. We're at 8 a.m. now. So you see the cell. This is the one. This is the one. It tracked all the way from southern Indiana to where it's at now in West Virginia. That is crazy. That is actually one of the longest tracking supercells I've ever seen. And it's, again, remained the same intensity the entire time. It's not like it weakened out any since it was in southern Indiana. It's still strong enough to warrant severe thunderstorm warnings. This cell now close to Van Buren, Indiana, still very concerning. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be for Pittsburgh County, Oklahoma. That's for 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That is a continuation here for this storm that was doing 2-inch hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds, then got downgraded to 1.75-inch hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds, and now it's down to 1-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. I'm sorry I'm talking so fast, but we got a new tornado warning and a new severe thunderstorm warning. Polk and Scott counties, Arkansas, 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. And then we've got Christian and San Germain counties in Illinois under a tornado warning. This is a continuation here towards Taylorville, Illinois, for this still very concerning rotation here. Another severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be, I don't know, because they're not popping up at the bottom like they're meant to. Sorry, I've been quiet for the past few minutes. That was not a voice crack. Another new severe thunderstorm warning. 27 and 7 tornado warnings. That's for Haskell and Lake Flora County, Oklahoma. It's because of how widespread it is. We're starting to see more cells pop up in Oklahoma and Arkansas. We just got a new special weather statement as well in Oklahoma. We're starting to see more storms pop up in Oklahoma and Arkansas, and overnight these are going to turn into the main concern. At the minute, we're looking at the Midwest threat, but later tonight we're looking down there in the deep south. 7 tornado warnings, 27 severe thunderstorm warnings. I mean, this is one of the most intense outbreaks we've seen in a while. Another new severe thunderstorm warning. And don't know where it's at because it's not putting it at the bottom of the list like it's supposed to. And when I say most concerning, I'm not talking about just from a, tornado, a tornado threat. I'm talking about large hail, damaging winds, tornadoes. They've all been incredibly significant. Another one, I can't even stop talking for 5 seconds. Can't get my voice a rest. And we don't know where it's at. You know why? Because it's not going to the bottom of the list like it's supposed to. I believe this is a relatively new severe thunderstorm warning for 70 mile per hour winds here. No, it's not. I'm just dumb. This is for the big swath of winds. So, anyway, this is my longest live stream ever, other than the Tennessee tornado outbreak. That was an insane day. I think at 5 o'clock I'm going to end this stream, not because nothing significant happens, but because I've been live for so long, man, I'm getting bored. I'm going to be honest. I got home from school and pretty much immediately went live. I haven't done anything since then, so I'm getting bored, If anything very significant happens, I will hop back on, but at the minute, we don't have any confirmed tornadoes. We got a new tornado warning issued. That is going to be for Monroe, St. Clair, and Randolph counties. That's a continuation here for this cell near Redbud. But yeah, I honestly think I'm going to pretty much end off here. But, I mean, it's not like nothing significant's happening, but we don't have any confirmed tornadoes. We don't have any cells that are extremely close to producing one. New severe thunderstorm warning in Oklahoma and Texas, by the way. We don't have any cells that are extremely close to producing one. We do have some more intense cells like this one here in Indiana, but nothing at the minute that is incredibly concerning for tornadoes. But if you're in a tornado warning, you need to seek shelter. We have 7 at the minute and 26 severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, this is insane, guys. But I want to thank you all for tuning into this stream. It has been incredibly eventful. There was not a single calm period in this stream. Not at all. Not at all. But yeah, I think I'm going to end off here. So I want to thank you all for watching this live stream. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace. Stay safe.